Yes, the fuck, sir.
We have a guest in the house today, baby.
We're back.
Let's go. Oh, we fucked up. But we've been worrying too much about getting the beat that we actually messed up the handshake. We're going to get better. I don't know what it is. What's up, everybody? It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Let's go. It's the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin, powered by Dimers. And we have a guest.
Here, man.
We have a guest from Dimers today.
Another one?
Another one from Dimers who's already done an article. We're going to announce this guy in just a few moments. We want to talk to you a little bit about a new partnership that Dimers has for the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. Dimers has partnered with Twinspires. So we are running a risk-free, $1,000 risk-free bet for the first 6 weeks of the season. You can go head over to our page on Dimers. That's www.dimers.com /ADED. And all you got to do is click the link under there, sign up, and you'll get that with our referral code there, and you'll get the $1,000 risk-free bet.
Risk-free up to 1,000. Don't get flustered. Don't think you got to bet 1,000. You can
right.
Bet
you can
20.
bet 100. Right.
You bet 10. You bet 20.
Twinspires is really cool. It used to be a just mainly horse racing and horse betting, which is super cool when the Derby comes around. So if this is not a book, I keep telling Manny, if this is not a book that you would like to be on after you use the code or you get the risk-free bet, then just wait, because then you'll be in a position when the Derby comes back around, the Triple Crown comes back around, you'll have that. You won't have to go to a goddamn casino to make that bet. So Twinspires, first 6 weeks of the season, $1,000 risk-free bet.
Sure.
All right, Manny, tell these guys what we got going on today, and then we'll get this guy in here.
All right, so we got another guest. Last week we had a banger interview with my guy Steph, and now we got Beau coming in. Our gambling guys know who Beau is. Beau Wagner, one of the most elite guys in that space, probably one of the best guys in that space too, because it's not always about, I mean, obviously we get the guys on that gamble, they're all good.
Right.
But they're all great guys as well. So this is going to be another crazy conversation. I mean, this guy's a lawyer full time and hitting bangers left and right. I mean, this is going to be one of those interviews where you guys just learn a lot, find out this guy's way more interesting than you thought just scrolling through Twitter. I'm really excited to get you guys on board with this one, man, because
yeah,
this is gonna be an interesting
and
conversation.
also like just how some of the questions that we're going to be getting into with him is just how you balance, a full-time job where attorney, real estate, law. So how are you able to, all the work that goes into that, right? To have the time to put in some research, to wagering a good amount of money, you have to have some confidence. It means you have to have some research done. And this goes back to our talks with El Capitan as well. Also, before we let him into this call on the show, we did our first NFL reactions video, which should be up by this point. If you haven't already seen it, you can get over to the YouTube, the All Day Everyday Show, and check that out. We're going to be doing that for every Sunday for the remainder of the season. It's when the Sunday night football game ends, we start recording our reactions. Yes, I said it in that podcast, but I'll say it here as well. That's our new series, and we are going to be missing the Monday night show in that, the Monday night football game, which is fine, because we just want to get this out at a timeable, reasonable time for you guys. So that's really it. That's the new series. We're going to be doing that every Sunday night after all of the games on Sunday are over, giving you our reactions for each week. All right, let's get Beau in here. And
let's go, baby.
What the hell is going on, man? Let me switch my view here. What's going on? All right, so there he is. Let's go. Let me switch this view. Holy shit.
We got him. We got
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
Go, baby.
Yes, sir. Sorry, you don't see me. I told you about that, though. I told you, but I see you. I see you.
I see all that cabbage back there.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
jealous of that right there.
Boy,
Thank you so
good.
much for your time today, brother. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
This is
Super
huge
excited
for
for
us,
this interview,
man.
man. Super excited for this.
So just
I appreciate it.
Yeah, just for the just to get things rolling, get things started. Just talk to us a little bit about your background, how you kind of got into betting, just for the viewers and the listeners at home.
Hypothetically speaking, because of my career, before gambling was legalized, I never made a bet unless I was in Vegas.
Right.
Wink, wink. Right. So it started kind of like after I got my first job, there was this site called Bodog that people bet on. I was just like anyone else starting out, I'd be like, well, there's no way that some team can lose on this money line and just bet $420 that I absolutely didn't have, lose it. And then I'd be like, oh, now what do I do? You know?
Right.
And then kind of as I got, progressed, you learn things, you can kind of see the traps a little bit clearer. I thought Baltimore was one last night where I was like, oh, all the money was on them. And you just kind of like, you kind of learn to block out certain noise, focus on what you're doing, focus on what you like. And, it's just kind of progressed from there. But I wasn't, I followed all these guys for like some of them a couple years. And just a few months ago, I'm like, gambling's legal. Who cares what I do with my profession?
Right.
I'm going to just open up my Twitter. It was just kind of like, let's just see how this goes. And the rest is just kind of taking off fast,
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
That's crazy, bro. So like, cause you're a full-time lawyer, attorney. So, and there's a lot of like, when you get a case, there's a lot of research that goes into the case. How do you balance your work with your betting research and insights, and how does that kind of work for you?
Well, I do real estate. So, when I started out, I was in court every day. The big firms, set your shoes outside, get your shoes polished for you, button under the desk, the door shut, stuff like that. But that was, it sounds really cool.
Holy fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah, like it'd be like, oh geez, Panera again. Shout out Panera. But I thought I was super happy, but I was pretty miserable. It was minimum 60 hours a week. I had a son at that point. I was seeing him for like 15, 20 minutes a day. And it just got to the point where it didn't matter what you paid me. I was just like burnt out.
Right.
I was looking at other people taking the train into the city, seeing these people's faces, and we all age, right? But I was like, these people look miserable, empty. So about 5 years ago now, I started my own firm. I just left.
Wow.
So I went from making X to like, I don't know what letter, but it was like, 80% less than what I was making.
Jeez.
And I was really scared, no different than what you guys are doing, right? You're starting this from scratch. Yeah. Now I make more than I ever did at the firm. If you bet on yourself.
That's so fucking motivating for guys like us, bro. You have no idea. You have no fucking idea.
You can ask people, man. I have DMs to prove it. Like people who reach out for advice. I'm like, you have to work so hard, grind it out. Okay, like I'm older, right? I always ask people like, hey man, now that, we're DMing, how old are you? Oh shit, I'm still older. Shit. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear on here.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But, I tell people when I was 26 years old, I was eating tuna fish out of a can with a fork, Aldi mac and cheese, bars on my window, no air conditioner, no cable, a rusted out Toyota Camry. I was $150,000 in debt for law school and college, $38,000 in credit card debt. I was a licensed attorney and I couldn't get a job.
Wow.
I was folding sweaters at the Gap as a licensed attorney.
Wow.
That passed the bar in his first
How
shot.
do you bounce back from that?
It just creates this fire in you.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not how it is supposed to be. This will not be my destiny. And by the way, the very first job I got, hey, everything's relative, right? But I just told you my debt. It was $45,200.
Yeah.
My sister was selling windows, making like $65K, and I'm like, holy God,
right. I did all this school, and now I'm in this position.
But then look at you now, and you got the fucking Air Mags behind you in your head. The setup looks clean, bro. It was all fucking worth it.
It's not overnight, guys, and that's why, like what you guys are doing, it is when you're not getting that consistent paycheck. Animalistic instincts come out.
I'll tell you, baby.
Right? I woke up when I had my own firm. I had 2 kids. I went from X to Z, and the fire it creates in you, the hunger, you can't teach that. You just can't. It either is or isn't. But I get hating DMs all the time. Oh, it must be nice to fire. I knew the Chiefs were going to win too, but I didn't have 3,700 to fire on it. I'm like, you cannot even tell me.
And also, because you can sit there and be like, well, I didn't have it either once.
Exactly.
Well, I busted my fucking ass and now I'm here. So I have that luxury of doing that.
So, and like, to get to your question, I do real estate. So people who buy and sell houses, I represent them. People who buy and sell commercial real estate, like shopping centers, strip centers. That's what I do. So it's a lot of hours, but it's a lot of office time. So how I'm able to balance this, like you guys, everybody has heard that the real estate market is insane right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unlike anything I've seen in my career. So I'm not exaggerating. I work 15 hours a day, at least. Okay. So I felt disconnected. Like it was like, babe, we cannot go on vacation this year, period.
Right.
So I made more money than I've ever made in my life, but I was miserable. I was
you were
sad,
working,
just kind of
busting your ass.
Yeah. So that's when I kind of, instead of just like peering in from the inside on Twitter, I'm like, I'm just going to put this out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, God bless, like, guys like Jerry, Marcus, just people that like retweeted, like, I hit something like right away, and then, it just kind of takes off from there.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, can I say the guy's name at Dimers, or should I just call him Mr. Dimers?
No, you can say his name. No, you're chilling, bro. Think of this as like we're at the bar. We're just chilling, talking.
Okay. So who knows, right? So then Jason reached out. A friend suggested me, a good friend, like, hey, you should check him out. And then that Dimers article, I was almost like spooked. I'm like, this is too early. People are gonna be like, who's this guy? I don't even know who he is. But Jason's a fantastic writer. He asks good questions. It's not fluff in it. He doesn't ask you all the easy stuff.
Right.
And then just kind of, the rest is just kind of, I don't know, all my weird stuff.
Yeah, because I
can't
was
really describe it.
I was about to go right there to the Dimers article, and how is that really how it started? Because did you have, and if that's how it really started, did you also have a much less following? I guess that's the word I'll use. Much less following before the article. Did you gain some followers from that article? Because we spoke with him, and he said how great that article was for not only them, but they said it was a really good article for you as well, just to speak your mind. But obviously now this is your first video type article interview, so it's a little bit different.
It is. I was nervous. I've argued before the Illinois Supreme Court, and I'm like, I had the same kind of butterflies. I mean, that was huge. That was huge. It just was. You put that on your page. It's people read it. And I got some really good feedback having nothing to do with betting. Just kind of like one of my main life mottos is, if it doesn't make you money and it doesn't make you happy, don't fucking do it.
Yes.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Okay. It's a very simple rule, but it's hard to follow.
Because people have that fear blocking them, bro. It's all about getting through that mental block.
Not just fear, but like, whose happiness are you worried about?
Facts.
What? Like, it's 2021, guys. We can do whatever we want.
Exactly.
Right? So people say, well, that doesn't include charity. What are you talking about? Charity makes me thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
People, I take being an attorney really seriously. Counseling is part of what we do. So I tell people all the time, reach out. If you got it, I can at least give you like my 2 cents. I can always look at a situation from both sides. Devil's advocate is a really important thing to do. Mm-hmm. Suggestions, constructive criticism. I like being coach hard myself. What's the point of somebody blowing a bunch of smoke up you, saying how great you are or whatever? It's like, no, if you ask me what my opinion is, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Right.
But so many people do things for other people's happiness, or this is what I think I should do. This is the job I think I should have. And you have to take risks. You do. That's why gambling comes really natural to me, because I went all in. Mm-hmm. If I wouldn't have passed that bar exam, I am not joking, I was screwed. I would have had no money. You would have had to wait like 5 more months to take it again. I don't know what I would have done. I mean, my loan money had ran out. It was like literally the story.
Now or never.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've had millions of blessings, but I worked for it. I mean, my family doesn't come from money. My parents didn't go to college. Really good parents that taught us to work hard. And but what people see in some of the like stuff I see in my DMs, like must be nice stuff. That could not be further.
You don't even get
that.
I tell you.
Yeah, man, we see the diplomas behind you.
Yeah,
hell
fast.
yeah.
Oh, who cares about those? Those are just I say anything you do with school now, man. Everybody's super smart. You do the wealthiest, smartest guy I know, one of my buddies, has a GED that he got years later. He is filthy rich, brilliant guy. You got to go through school. Sometimes you got to jump through the hoops.
Yeah.
To do certain careers. Hey man, I know clients that are plumbers that are making 300,000.
Yep.
So and how do I know that? I mean, you see their stuff, right? So the Dimers thing was big. It legitimizes you right away, and it got some other stuff in there that I would tell anybody, whether it's gambling or not. You know,
right.
Doesn't make you money, it doesn't make you happy. Don't do it. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Right. So kind of on that token, like, I know there was a point where you said you're opening your own firm and you're gambling. That there's got to be there probably was a point where you're just down in your luck at one point. You're probably losing a couple bets, a couple bad weeks, and the startup isn't going as well as you thought it was. And I know there's probably there was that point where you're in that dark alley and it's like, what the fuck am I doing? And I'm not. Me and Alex aren't like down right now on our luck, but one thing we always tell each other, we always have this philosophy of from the basement to the moon, because we're in the basement right now. And I told him another time, I'm like, bro, if we can just get by, just this week get by, next week get by, this month get by, next month get by, we'll be fine. And I know there's probably was a point where you were probably a little down on your luck and you had to tell yourself some things like, I just need to keep it pushing. Like, can you tell us kind of like what mindset pushed you through and like what kind of that experience was like when there was a point where things weren't going as well as you thought?
Fear was always one of my greatest motivators. Fear of failure. I don't know what it was, but fear is a good thing for me. That isn't for everybody.
Yep.
Some people like my son, you know, he's almost 8. He needs the tough coaching doesn't work for him. And really just like you guys will look back wherever you guys go, however big, to the moon or even, you know, to the, you know, the clouds or wherever you guys end up, you guys will look back at this, trust me, with fond memories. And you'll look back and you'll be like, golly, some of my happiest times as far as mental clarity was I was broke as shit.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, working these 15 hours a day for a year and a half, and everybody thinks that's BS. It's true. Like, it is true. You can get a hold of me at any time. People say, do you ever sleep? Kinda, sorta. You guys will look back on this and you won't regret it. Don't stop until somebody literally rips the microphones from your hands. Don't stop. You're good at what you do. If I see you guys slipping, I'll DM both of you. I'll say, hey,
yeah, baby,
come on. You know, I mean, it's really simple rules, but yeah, gambling. Of course, I lose bets. Jesus, of course I do.
Right.
My biggest kind of tip on that is like when I had, you know, the 6 or 7 grand on Brady in that opening game, right? Where I was just praying that Cowboys only got 3 because I'm like, Tom Brady's going to win this game, right? When I make those kind of bets, I have to be able to sleep with it at night. Okay. If somebody beats the greatest quarterback of all time, okay, you beat me.
I'm okay.
I was wrong. Right.
That's a good way to look at it.
I used to make when I was younger, you know, was like, oh, you know, the Daily Shark Attack VIP profit, whatever, you know, these people are, told me to bet this, and I'd bet all this money on it. And I was like, I don't know if I really know all these players. And then I'd lose. That's the stuff that keeps you awake at night.
Right.
If you can make sense to it. And then I think I had a big one. They blend together. Oh, the Chiefs money line, right? When they were down to the Browns. I was like, greatest current future quarterback on the planet against the Browns. No offense to people in Cleveland. At home, you know, if they lose, then they lose.
Yeah, so
right? I'll take my chances.
That's actually, I've never really thought about it like that, but that's actually like a really, really smart way of looking at it. Because even when I place my bets, I've never been like, usually I'm on the other side of the spectrum where you were just saying, you know, that's the things that keep you up at night. And I'm more of the time, more than less, I'm usually in that same boat where I'm like, yeah, I'm awake at that.
Right.
I've never thought about, Yeah, I'm actually content with taking that L there. That actually makes sense. I'm okay with that. So that is a really good point.
Those are some that I can live with every day of the week, and kind of dovetailing into another one of my things. Like, guys, look at these numbers. I know we'll call it money. View them in your accounts as numbers on a screen. That's all they are. Okay, they're not in your pocket. When I was younger, I'd hit, let's just say like that Chiefs bet, right? Like 5 G's. I was spending it in my brain already, right?
Get so fucking emotional and shit.
I'm heading to Express.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out to eat. I'm going to get that, flat screen, that Sharp Aquos.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't gotten that money yet.
Right.
And then I lose it. And that's soul crushing. You have to view these things as, I call them tokens, right? They're just tokens. They're not mine until they hit my account. If you stop looking at it as like when you win, that's your money. I mean, it really changes you. It changes how you wager. That's not your money until that's in your account and it's cash. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I keep purposely a stack of $100 bills. That's not a flex. I swear to you.
That's
but just to remind me that when I do make bets, that is real money. Make no mistake.
Right.
Right. Like, that's real money. You people, I think, get really bent out of shape when they hit that bet. They've spent it in their brain. Well, then pull it out.
Yep.
Pull it out then if that's your money. But yeah, that's what they want you to do. God bless the sports books. They want you to like not take your money out.
Yep.
Right. And that,
okay, all good. I'll keep my money there. I'll keep a lot of it there. And then when I see something like the Chiefs or whatever, I'll hammer you. I will hammer the shit out of that. And people don't do that. Another tip I wrote down where you said, like, what's some of the tips? I mean, I think this is probably like people get it, but maybe some people don't. You don't have to make 78 bets on an NFL weekend. Okay. You got to have like 1 or 2. I was on the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Broncos,
and I'm a Giants
Broncos,
fan, so that kind of hurts.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that things happen. But the Giants.
Don't show him sympathy.
Anything, all right, man? I'm not doing this.
No, don't give him sympathy. This fucking guy sat here with a straight face. We did our NFC East predictions. He sat here with a straight fucking face and said, "I'm not being biased here. I'm picking the Giants." He gets no sympathy from me. He gets no sympaty from me.
No.
So you can give him hell if you want. No. He gets no sympathy from me.
Now I know why he's blessed with that beautiful hair, because he's gonna say stuff like that. The lower IQ, right?
Exactly. It's got to protect it. It's got to protect it.
Yeah, man. You can ask prop bet guy, man. Like last season, I was in this guy's DMs all the time. I'm like, Cole Kmet is good. You need to make him a pick. And Cole had some catches. That Bears game, and I was like, Cole Kmet, bro, you ready? I'm irrational too.
Right.
But really, guys, focus on when there is something that is not right, hammer the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Don't look back. Do the one, and then then it's the be able to sleep with it bet. I see way too much of if this happens and some of the brightest minds that I spend hours with on the phone each week. It's like 3 or 4 legs, anything more than that. Look what happened to Green Bay. I posted my tickets. And then I hit them again live. I mean, they swung hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, they fucked my team.
That was, bro, right? I mean, and I was, as a Bears fan, Aaron Rodgers, I was so excited. I thought it was going to be like some WWE stuff.
Yeah.
Like this guy is going to, tell his kicker, get the fuck off my field.
Right.
Like there's going to be WWE stuff. And he looked like, man, I don't know what's up with that guy.
Yeah,
like everyone's telling me, the Packers money line, right? And Aaron has a habit of doing this. Everybody thinks he's done. Marcus, he's like, watch, this guy's going to drop 6 touchdowns. But are we positive?
Right.
Do we want to see another week? I do.
Right.
I do.
I have 2 questions now, because you said you were a Bears fan. So the first question is, when the fuck is Andy Dalton getting out of here and we're going to see Justin Fields play football? Because that is driving me insane.
You want to know
That is, and Andy Dalton sitting there. Well, this is my team.
He's gonna have a great career, but it's my time. No, Andy, you had your time.
Dude, do you guys want to know the rumor I heard?
Let me hear it.
All right, so I always say like intel, right? Like there is legitimate intel that people have, hypothetically speaking. Right. So I heard this thing, and I forget who told it to me, but essentially, and it supposedly came from intel. You know, I don't know. Maybe the guy goes and gets Jamba Juice from the, you know, who knows, right? But that, I guess Andy Dalton is a Rosenhaus guy, right?
Okay.
Okay. So there's a rumor that when Drew gets these guys signed, he has a minimum amount of starts. And essentially, it's like, Drew, don't sue me, man. Please don't sue me if this is not correct. But if Drew Rosenhaus listens to this, hey, man, we're good. Just hire me to be the mop boy at your guys' basement studio, okay? But that he says, you know, like, if you F me on this and he doesn't start, you're not going to get a Drew Rosenhaus client for however many years.
Oh, wow. So he's on some Rich Paul shit. He's on some Rich Paul shit for real.
That's the rumor I heard. Two games, 3 it's going to be Fields.
Okay.
Because you can't make an argument with a straight face. Andy has to say those things, man. Like, I don't blame that guy.
Nah, yeah.
People ask me, why should I hire you to represent my house? Because I'm the fucking best. That's why.
Facts.
Right, yeah.
Facts.
Okay, if you don't believe in yourself, who is?
Exactly.
This world's competitive, right? So, yeah, I don't blame Andy. And I don't think he did that bad. But Justin Fields, you know.
I mean, he comes in one play. He shows you he gives you an element. The RPO element, he could have kept it. He throws a dot for the first down. Like, I don't understand.
On third down.
Just seeing that as a Bears fan, I would just be fuming watching that game. Like, holy shit.
I think maybe they didn't want to see Aaron Donald kill the kid.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I mean, arguably the best defender in football. And Andy Dalton didn't do terrible, but I mean, like, guys way smarter than me were putting it out there. Like, did you see Allen Robinson's route tree? Bro, I don't think you went. Oh, did I lose you guys?
No, we're back. We're back.
Okay. Did you see Allen Robinson's route tree? Somebody put that on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw
it. He didn't have a route more than 15 yards.
I know. And maybe
Allen Robinson.
I'm about to say, and we know who Allen Robinson is.
And I was about to take his over and yards too. But a lot of people in terms of like over-unders in that game, and I'm just relating this back to Andy Dalton, is I saw a lot of people saying, all right, maybe let's hammer the Andy Dalton under and just hope and pray and assume that he's going to get pulled and Fields going to go in.
Facts.
So I think for those remaining couple games until we see Fields, to your point of the 2 to 3 games, then maybe we do hammer that under on that. Just assuming he'll come in.
Yeah,
Facts.
It reminds me of like a Drew Brees and Taysom Hill. Yep. Because it really does.
Right. Yeah. For me, the Bears right now are just to stay away. You know, I do have an edge with them because I just watch a lot of stuff. I know some people who know and people in front office. For me,
that's
it's you. And
that's super cool.
That boy carries some weight around
trying to graze over that one.
The lawyers, you know us lawyers, right?
Yeah.
My bad. Hey, my bad. I'm just a podcaster.
All I know is I call people about this stuff. Okay. So I share. For me, they're a stay away. Allen Robinson is an all-world player.
Yeah.
If he was in Tampa right now, he'd be doing AB stuff.
Surely.
He's very good, great. You got to get him downfield. Daryl Mooney's not a bad player either. I had some stuff on him. And by the way, David Montgomery looked fantastic.
I was going to say, you guys have, Montgomery's a beast too. I think he had 105 on like 18 carries.
Growing up is like texting me, he's not on Twitter or anything. He's like, okay, so dude has like 60 yards on like whatever 4 carries.
His first rush was 41 yards. Against the Rams defense, right?
Yeah, I shouldn't say we. The Bears don't give it to him. So okay. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, you're putting the Rams in a lot of your parlays." I'm like, yeah. What do you want me to bet on that?
Exactly.
What do you want me to bet? Right? Like that, the Bears are not winning this game. There's no chance. Period. Unless Stafford breaks his collarbone, we're good, fam.
So let's take this to a technical side. And a more detailed side of betting. So I want to just talk about if you have a unit system and how crucial that is to betting, because I see some of your plays and some of them are like a few $100 here and there, and then you have your 1,000 plays. Because I think in terms of that definition of gambling and playing responsibly, how important those units are, so you don't throw maybe a 5-unit play down and you lose and you win only like a 2-unit play. So you're still taking a net loss on the day.
Yeah. Gosh. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Yes, you have to gamble responsibly, but for me, it's not necessarily about the units. It's betting money that you can literally, figuratively, however you want to say it, lose. Honestly, you shouldn't be betting 1 penny that you cannot afford to lose. I don't care if it's rent, school, kids, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You shouldn't be doing that. Okay. I didn't bet when I was in college. I didn't bet when I was in law school. I didn't bet when I was making, when I was barely scraping by. I didn't bet a single dollar. Didn't mean I didn't want to. I just couldn't lose it.
Yeah.
Right. And especially as, everybody, has their own personal stuff. When I was younger, bets would put me in a bad mood. Like literally, like I'd snap at whoever, and you guys know, everybody knows the feeling. You can run like it's
I know. Yeah, I get pissed off. Right? I get really pissed off.
Yeah. And the bottom line is, if you're not doing this for fun, just Google the statistics of people who make money sports wagering. Right. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing it for fun, that's I haven't charged anybody anything for anything on Twitter, and I have no plans to. So have it to be fun. And for me, I got to tell you, sometimes there are certain unit sites out there. They're like, oh, up 31 units on the year. Like, come join here for, like whatever, $300 or something like that. What? So you want to talk units? Okay, cool. I made 180 units last week during the NFL.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what that means.
You want to talk units, buddy? Let's do it.
I made over 18 grand. I don't. Is that units? No, because those aren't real numbers to me.
Right.
I could lose.
They're tokens.
Whatever next
They're tokens.
Week. Tokens. Fun coupons is probably trademarked. But, I really do believe, and this is a little against the grain, there are certain bets that you do have to hit hard. I remember the one, the McGregor fight, Dustin, right?
Yeah.
I love the WWE, WWF. I mean, I love it. I love the storyline. I love the physicality. I love the athleticism. I don't care if it's a predetermined result. It's good stuff. It's better back in the day.
Yeah.
But I love Conor McGregor. Who wouldn't? Are you crazy?
I know.
Yeah, the dude is a WWE character. His swagger, the way he talks, the way he dresses, everything about him, in my opinion, is just drip. Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be that guy.
Right.
With that said, I'm like, this Dustin dude, and people are like, oh, well, it's because he broke his whatever. Dude, Dustin was kicking his ass the whole fight.
He was.
I put, 5-6 G's on it. I took abuse. I'm like, you guys think I want this is for money. If we're gonna talk about who I want to win, I'll get the Jaeger bombs with the best of them. I'll put the Irish flag around my neck. I want McGregor to win, not against Dustin. Anytime McGregor faces Dustin, I mean, there was 90% of the money on McGregor.
Yeah, I know.
And he was still plus money.
Which is me too.
Yeah, that's scary.
I mean, I'm just a huge fan of him, so I wanted to bet him. I didn't want to see him lose. But this goes back to your point where you said,
so buy a
I'm
poster,
content
then.
with if Conor won. If Conor won, you said, because if he won, you lost those 5-6 G's. You're content. Back to your point from earlier. You're content with that. That's fine.
And I was cool because so many people would have won a bunch of money.
Right.
So that's cool, man. If people eat, awesome. For me, especially with boxing and MMA, a question that you guys didn't ask that I just popped into my brain: follow the money. Vegas does not lose on those plays.
Yeah.
Maybe once in a while, but you just bet against the money.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna ask that, because it sounds like a lot of your plays, it's I'm going with maybe if it's 70% of the money's here and 30% of the money's here, I look to the side that's 30%. And I have a lot of friends that text me like, oh, look at this stat. So the money's here. The money is favoring this team or this player, whatever, and it's not on this side, so we're going to go the other side. And then he's like, one of my friends has texted me that, and he's like, the past couple of weeks, he's tested that. He's like, look, when the money's favored on this side, it always loses. So for some of your plays, are you looking at that, or is it more the research that goes with it, or a gut feeling that goes with it? Do you maybe take that into consideration a lot more? Because we haven't really had that conversation with a bunch of Jerry and Kenny and El Capitan that have come on. We've never really talked about favoring the money and how important that is.
That isn't step one for me. It is step one on the boxing and the MMA. That's the very first thing I look at, and then I watch the line for a day or two. And when all the money's coming in and somebody is just straight, McGregor was giving, getting plus money. On the NFL, let's just focus on NFL because baseball is dead to me.
Me too.
NFL, you can certainly look at it. My buddy Dan Rivera, I tweeted him, he had that, he found that great line, that Cardinals first half. To score over 10.5. I think it was like 13 on FanDuel. I tweeted him out. Brilliant numbers guy. I added kind of some stuff to it. He's been tracking, he calls it like this, I think it's like sheep to slaughter or something like that. And it's where the most money was. And I think last season it was like 14-2.
Damn.
The other way. And I asked him, I said, who's the sheep to slaughter? And he told me a few days ago, the Ravens. Look what happened. Right. I mean, no, that isn't step number one. But it is something to pay attention to. And that's why with kind of where I'm at right now, I don't have a problem betting the money lines. They always say, the counter argument to that is, well, if you love the Chiefs so much to win this week, which I do, by the way, then just do a -3, right? The Chiefs are so good. Like what? That's nothing.
Yeah.
The back door, man, that's stuff that will
bro, because last week
I had you at the backdoor bullshit.
I had the Browns last week, and probably I had the Eagles and the Browns, and the Chiefs scored. They were up by 4. I had them +5. They go for 2. That's the sweatiest 2-point conversion I ever watched. But that's why sometimes when I take I'll bet like dog favorites. When I take my favorites, I kind of lean money line sometimes too, because you'll see some fucking weird backdoors, man. I was expecting the backdoor in the Bears game, but they just ended up getting blown the fuck out. But I mean, that shit happens in the NFL, and college football, like it's nothing. People miss that a lot.
I like the money line stuff on like star players, like LeBron, man. When he was with the Heat, I was making a ton of money on that. And it's a big risk though. Sometimes you were laying, 280 to win 100.
Right.
But I was like, LeBron is not losing this game.
Right. He might not cover, but he's not going to lose. Correct.
He's just not going to lose this game. I mean, one of the games, you remember all the good ones, you remember the bad ones. But I think the money, that matters, but it matters a lot more. Really just compiling your information. Decide who you trust. Decide who you think has good info. Decide who is just like maybe just piggybacking other info. Like who is first with it? Why? These guys, like I try to answer as many DMs as I can, seriously. But a lot of some of these guys would just say, why? Right? Sell me this pen, right? Why? And then these guys tell me, like Marcus was on that Jalen Hurts thing, like, whatever day when the lines came out and the line swung like 40 yards. That's some pretty good research right there. That's free.
And I think he had a good Robbie Anderson play too.
Yeah. I mean, nobody owns a play either, nobody owns a play, right? But find the people that you trust. Right. Find the people that are, like, hey man, let's bring up our boy Thomas. Like, dude's very transparent right now.
I know.
Yeah. And I've spent many hours with him on the phone, and he's a great person.
Yeah, he is.
And a great person.
Yeah, man.
He's bright. And I tell him, when I was your age, I tell him that, like, man, I'm not sure I could do what he does. Right. I mean, so dude is super transparent. I know he cares for a fact. He cares. People, if you're watching this, that dude cares.
Yeah, man.
I'm much older than him. I have no reason to whatever. People are like, Thomas is paying you. I was like, do you want me to send you a screenshot of just my crypto, guys? Like, I'll show you my crypto. I don't need anybody's money.
Hell yeah, crypto!
So,
crypto!
like, no, Captain does not pay me. Yes, I sent him a bunch of voodoo chips because I believe in random acts of kindness. I believe in the best gifts are unexpected. Seriously. You know, I don't care if it's $5 or 100. And I'll be tweeting it out later. Like a guy on Twitter is like, man, I followed you a lot. And he sent me a bottle of 1942.
Damn.
Just out of the blue, man. So I don't
That's
ask
great.
for anything. I've had people beg to like tip me, do this. I'm like, nah, man, that's your money. You made that wager. That's your play. That was your money. If it would have lost, you know, don't come in my DMs. You know, I have people DMing me about him. I'm like, dude, first of all, grow up.
Right.
Be a man. You click the button, and that's that. Like I don't. I
that's
really
why
don't
it's
understand
like
that.
It's like when you your point of you know, it's not my play. It's, you know, you wagered it. It's like these stock accounts that you say, and they're like, you know, not a financial advisor.
Right.
Don't come at me if your trade is red. You know. So I think that's just kind of funny. Would you classify yourself more as like a money line and a spread better versus like a prop better? Because you saw, you know, the plays that El Capitan had tweeted today and this weekend that lost, and a lot of those were, you know, prop bets. So over in receptions, over in rushing yards, over in this, that, and the other. Are you more on the side of, you know, Chiefs money line? That's, you know, I saw you built the one today where it was like
that
Chiefs
makes me sound way too basic. I mean, I was on Broncos, and they weren't you know, they were like 136.
Yeah.
And you know, both. Not that I'm an expert at either of them or both, but I mean, I like to mix stuff. That's that's where I kind of get the you know, I had a ticket that never saw the light of day. It was over $500 to win like 21,000 something. You know, that was built with let's see, it was 2 player props, 1 over under, and 2 money lines, and missed by Big Ben.
Damn.
1.5.
Damn.
Over 20 G's. And a lot of that was built with Marcus, you know. That
crazy.
Dude. I mean, you know, but like I said, there's also way too much of like, oh, it just missed by 1 leg. Yeah, that's what they're designed to do, guys.
Right.
They're designed by a leg. You don't have to, just move on, man. Right. Win or lose. Bill Belichick, I'm on to next week.
Yeah, tomorrow's a new day.
Get what happened the week before. Show the tickets that you want to. You know, vent a little bit, but move on.
Yeah, I like to wake up after like a loss, and I'll just say the books are pissed off that I woke up today because I'm back. Yeah. You know, you just have to have that mentality with it.
They don't want you to reload. I can promise you that.
Right.
I mean, they do eventually. But like when the dogs all killed everybody this past week, they want you to take a week off because now maybe all the, you know, everything evens out. Yep. It just does. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is mix it. And there are like, and there's so much info out there right now, right?
Right.
Like pick your people, who your people are that you trust and can tail blindly. My list is very short on that.
I was going to ask you about your like personal relationships with those guys because I seen a tweet that said you like, I forget what exactly it said. It was like, yeah, me and Marcus were on the phone for like a couple of hours. And then you talk about how you're on the phone with Kat for a couple of hours. And it's really cool because we had got into interviewing people in the gambling space. And that is like a risky move because as you know, there's some fucking rats in that space. But like guys like Kenny, Jerry, Cap, yourself, like we just got lucky with the good dudes in this space. I mean, I don't know if he wants me to tell the story, but Cap, when we met him at Parks, he hit a big bet. That same night, we all ate. We're at Chickies and Pete's. Just puts his card down, takes care of it for the whole table. I don't know a lot of guys in the gambling space that would do that. I don't know a lot of guys in the gambling space that would give you 2-3 hours on the phone to really talk plays, really check up on how they're doing, actually become friends. So kind of talk about how your personal relationship with some of these guys are, how you curate those, and like how that kind of helps you out in the long.
Because essentially you could say that this is like a second job. I mean,
facts.
But you know what I mean? I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that but maybe if you kind of understand where I'm getting with that. I mean, it's research and social media and all that kind of stuff and these connections and, you know.
No, I put a lot of time into this. And, you know, a lot of it is just, what do you want to do with your free time?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have my 2 kids. My girlfriend is fantastic. You know, like I tell her, this is my thing. You know, I'm not going to bars.
Right.
I'm not going out. I'm watching the games here.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't want to watch the games here? She's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
You know, like what do you want to do with your free time? I'm not chasing girls. You know, I've done all that stuff. You know, I'm putting these hours into doing this. When I was 26, we'd have a different story. But yeah, I talked to Cap on the phone for 2 hours because he's great to talk to. We don't just talk about, this isn't all about bets. Exactly. A lot of it has nothing to do with bets. It's how are you? You know, it's pumping people up. It's hey, if you ever need anything. Because that's one thing, awesome, like what comes naturally to you guys, like when I see your content, like the golf or your interviews, right? It comes naturally to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Like to you, this isn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is.
We really appreciate that, though. We really 100%,
do. Bro. That means so much to us, bro.
I mean, to me, that is not work. I enjoy it. So, you know, but as a lawyer, it just, giving advice comes naturally to me. It's honest advice. It's critical. It sometimes can hurt your feelings or whatever. I have the thickest skin in the world. I'm divorced. Nobody can say shit to me. Trust me. That my ex hasn't said. All right. Say what you want on Twitter. But like sometimes people are like, dang, what happened with so-and-so? I'm like, hey, I think I have a pretty good attitude on Twitter. I don't try to be too boisterous. I don't try to like pick on things. When I see something shady, it takes a lot to get me to call it out. Mm-hmm. But what did Chris Rock say? That, you know, if you pull the tiger's tail, don't be pissed when he turns into a tiger.
Exactly.
Like I will. If anybody wants to go toe to toe and debate anything with me, I will win. And you'll feel stupid. I mean that in the greatest way. If I tried to be like, hey, it's the Beau Wagner all night podcast, I'm going straight after these two. All right, come to me, right? They'd be like, did you see Wagner's podcast? Like, that was terrible. That was terrible. Like, that dude's too old for this. What's his story? You know, the phone conversations, a little bit of betting. And it was a lot of just letting Cap know, like, hey, man, like, this is like real stuff that you're doing. You need to look at yourself as gifted at a young age.
Right.
And that kind of money, seek professionals that know how to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and he was way ahead of me. Like, he gets it. So, you know, Marcus and I talk about our kids.
That's awesome,
you know,
man.
Yeah, man. But every guy I've ever talked to, and people probably think it's weird. All those guys. Hey, man, here's my number. Can you call me? I don't want to sit here like this the whole time. You know,
right.
I think after a big hit, I always try to like put a little bit of advice out there.
Yeah.
You guys will notice this. I have this big ticket. And then I'll be like, hey, well, I have everyone's attention. You know, the verbal communication, video communication, whatever, is a lost art. It just is. Nobody believes me that when I was 22, I mean, you know, there was no such thing. I mean, it'd be like, you have a camera phone?
Right.
Really? Right? Like people picked up the phone. There was no texting. You had like 100 a month. If somebody has a problem with me, don't go in my DM. I'm not hard to find. Call me. You know, like, I like talking with people. It's very humanizing than just seeing my Twitter and be like, oh, it must be nice. Like if you talk to me on the phone, it's a whole different thing. These guys are truly, I don't care what anybody says. And I trust that, you know, we all make mistakes, but nothing bad will happen in the future. The big guys in this field, they are truly good people. Mm-hmm. Otherwise I just say no comment. Right. Like that's what I would say. Like, I vet people before I even retweet anything. Facts. I go through somebody's feed. I know people at me their tickets and want to see it. Like, I take it really seriously. You know, there's some like, you know, you guys know, dude, it's Twitter. Like there's some craziness out there. Exactly. Like some great ticket, then you scroll 4 tweets down, and it's like some like horrible stuff.
Right.
So I'm not about that. I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. To each their own. Sleep with whoever you want. Great.
We just all want to make some fucking money, man. That's all.
Yeah, like I mean, back in the day before everything was legalized, I'm like, why aren't we just legalizing marriage for whoever anybody wants to marry? More girls for me. Perfect. Sounds great. How can anybody hate that, right? I didn't understand that. But yeah, they're great dudes, seriously. And you guys got to remember, not you two, I mean, just everybody out there, like, remember, man, there are real people on the other sides of those phones.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what happened to them that day.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can show my son this someday. My son's super scared of thunderstorms right now, like terrified, irrationally. This kid will go on the, American Eagle at Great America as a 7.5-year-old, that big drop. He's terrified of thunderstorms right now. I mean, like, you don't know what's going on. Like, it's a big deal. Like, thunderstorms at school. Like, what do we do here? Like, geez,
right.
You don't know what somebody's going through, man. Remember, these are real people on the other side of those phones real bills. You don't know somebody's health. I'm not all for kumbaya all the time. If somebody does something stupid, you got to let them know they did something stupid. But, if it doesn't make you money, if it doesn't make you happy, don't do it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's simple, and hey, it's just like road rage. I tell everybody who will listen to me, don't do something stupid in your car, man. Like, there's like guns now everywhere. Like, it's legal. There's idiots that, captain of the football team, working at, the Dollar Tree now, dying to use it on you.
Mm-hmm.
Just, be safe, man. Like, people, we're all under a lot of pressure, right? Like, everybody.
Fact.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're at. It's a pretty pressure-filled society. So, just remember when you're saying that, like, is this really worth saying?
Fact.
Yeah.
I used to fight all the time when I was younger, like in college. That was a cool thing to do. I'm like, you could do anything you wanted to me except, my girlfriend or my kids. You can say whatever you want to me. I'm gonna be like, all right, bro, I got you.
Yeah,
right,
I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like the last couple of things here is, we were just talking about the connections, and you had said about your phone number and everything. And kind of the thing that Manny and I kind of go back to is when we have guys like yourself on here and things like that, we never want it to be, and I say this a lot with all the guests that we have on, but I never want it to be, hey, let's talk for 20, 30 minutes. How you doing? Okay, see you later. Bye. And then we never talk again.
Right.
It was always building that connection where, down the line, we'll hit you back up. And now, like you were saying how, just call me. Well, we have it now. So we'll definitely be looking to do that as well. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is we did have our podcast last week, and it was our first one with our guest in the studio sitting right next to us right here. And I just wanted to tell everybody listening that I had messaged you, and I thought that I said, I don't know where I got this tip, but I was like, where do you live in Jersey? And, Beau's like, LOL, like, I'm in Chicago. And I told him that we had our guest in here sitting on the couch, and he was like, man, if it wasn't really crazy in the real estate season, I'd get on a flight right now.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. Dude, that's true. I would.
That's
I mean, I'm insane. I always tell people, like, I'm not insane, but I'm a lunatic.
Right.
Like I said, none of that stuff happened overnight, and I will always put my kids first. But I'm telling you guys, I'm older. It's a blink. Okay. Everything's a blink.
Yeah.
So like between like 20 and 30, it felt like forever. In law school, I was 24, 25 years old. Twice a month, I'd cry myself to sleep, being like, what am I doing?
Right.
I'm $100,000 in debt. I have nothing. I all I do is study. Like, those were some long days, really long days. And anytime you guys doubt yourself, just remember, nothing is by accident. Nothing. People don't be one of the must be nice people. Be the type of person to be like, hey, whoever, how did you get to where you are?
Exactly.
Right? Be willing to work for free. I know that Dahmer's contract was like 2.2 million, I heard, but like before that,
this fucking guy.
Before that, guys, I was willing to work for free.
Yeah.
So you learn stuff, and it 20 to 30 took forever. It was horrible, like doubt, like stress. 30 to 40, like that.
Time out.
I'm serious.
Wait, no. Hold the fucking, bro. 30 to 40.
We might as well get this shit out there now.
You don't look at I'm keeping it 100. You don't look at day at day over 20. You look like you in shape. You look like you just played a couple runs at LA Fitness. Got some buckets.
He said like, oh, why wouldn't I want to go out? Why would I go out? My wife's beautiful. And I was like, hold on a second. Wait. You're taking it away. Your girlfriend. and you're like, and I'm like, wait a minute. You're taking it away from you. I'm like, whoa. Put some respect on your own name. Come on.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. So, I mean, I'm 41.
Damn.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
Like, are you still active? You still lifting shit? I mean, you look kind of jacked through the Zoom.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll fuck you guys up. Yeah. I mean, eventually somebody's gonna say some crazy stuff, and I'm just gonna like tweet out a shirtless pic and lose thousands of followers. Like, hey, listen, that's how I get out my a lot of my stress.
Facts.
I've done it. I played college basketball, and then I messed up my knee. So then it was like, okay, spring break. It was like the start of the spring break generation, So I'm like, okay, abs, arms, and then all I did is start working out. I was super skinny in high school. To me, that's one of the things I do to relieve stress. But I've slowed down because for me, this type of engagement on Twitter, like I consider these people my friends. They're real people.
Right.
Like when I watch you guys play golf, I'm sitting there in the golf cart with a beer. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Like that's why we do it.
Right.
I'm 41. So it is what it is, but it sucks. I mean, I would much rather be in your guys' shoes, and I don't care how much money you have. I mean, health is wealth, age is wealth, but trust me, guys, you get one chance at this. And once you wait too long, before you know it, you can sit here and be like, I'm never getting married. I'm never having kids. Blah, blah, blah.
Who's that sound like, Alex?
Yeah.
That's funny as shit.
Because then that's when shit gets real. It's real. I have laughed in the face of every single cliche stereotype. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what you say. Watch this. I'll do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that is true. Kids. They are constant. And that is the thing that even my brain, I am always 5 steps ahead, to the point where like years ago I had therapy to be in the moment, enjoy some of the success now.
Yeah.
Be in the moment. Don't think about, okay, well now I got this, now I need to do this. Because that's a sickness too. It is. Just like being a fucking loser is a sickness. But kids, I did not even think about this. I was like, whoa, hold up. This dude's not going to go away, is he? Holy shit. This is every day.
He said this dude's not going to go away.
Right?
That's funny.
I was like, when does he like just kind of chill? Well, never.
Yeah. I have responsibilities.
Take your chances though. Like you have to take a chance. If you want to be Joe Q Public or Rebecca Q Public, do it, but don't come on my feed talking smack. I took risks that I look back on and I don't know
what the fuck
just
I was thinking.
Go
Belief.
it's an animal mindset, baby,
and be different. Don't just be like whatever, like take little things from each person, each show that you watched, each people that inspired you, but be yourself, be organic. People say, well, you've been on the whatever, like I think NMA is when I came public, right? So what is it, like 4 or 5 months, all these followers, right?
Yeah.
I think it's because it's like, okay, 1 second this dude's tweeting out these tickets and then he's tweeting about his candy jar or chips or throwing chili in the pond. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's me. Like like it or leave it. But you truly get one chance. I can't stress enough, because once you get a certain age, you are what you are. That's it.
God damn, bro.
I hate
You're
to say
putting a
that,
fucking
man,
battery in my back right now. Bro. I'm ready to throw a fucking brick wall.
Hey, man, I hope that you mean that. I really hope
No,
that you mean that,
100%, bro.
for me, anybody that needs to pick me up, you guys know where to reach me. Because I truly have lived it. I can prove it. You know what my big treat was for a year, like 2-3 years in law school, because I could afford it. I would eat, mac and cheese in the tuna all week. Like, people don't believe that.
Damn.
And I'd eat those mashed potatoes that you peel the bag.
Yeah.
And I still like those, by the way. I would do that then to fill my belly. Like, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I was in law school. I had a laptop. I mean, I wasn't like impoverished.
Yeah.
But I needed that money because I didn't want to work. So I wanted to focus on my school.
Right.
And of course, I had to have money for a lot of alcohol. Of course. My big treat was I'd get $5 Little Caesars hot and ready on Friday and Saturday. That was like, oh man. Whew.
Yeah, that was like finally Monday comes around. I'm like, oh shit, and then Friday comes around. I'm getting my pizza. Right? I'm getting my $5 pizza.
For sure. So I mean, that's just the truth. So the people that you see that you consider successful, ask how, what did you do, what chance did you take? Talk to everybody. People mistake networking for knowing a whole shitload of people. That's not networking.
Yeah.
At all. That is what people want you to believe. Networking is picking 10 very close people that are more successful than you, better than you, smarter than you, more money than you, and fucking never letting them out of your sight. Emulate them. That is, I can't tell you how critical that information is. Don't be the king of the losers. Congratulations, buddy. You have the most money out of the guys down at the bowling alley. Awesome. Good for you. I would rather be the poorest guy on a private jet, which I have been. So however you want to say that.
Yeah, because you're with the right people.
Holy fuck.
You're with the right people.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to be a little bit narcissistic to become successful, you have to have an ego. You can't be like this bullshit, altruistic stuff. But yeah, emulate people more successful than you, and then be yourself. So I don't understand the certain hate that comes with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. That's all the time we have for you today. You are just so inspiring, and the advice that you give. You are consistent with saying that, you tweet out your picks, and then while I have you here, I'll give you that advice, or call me, or whatever, message me. So obviously the stuff, Manny's sitting here just, blown away.
Well, I was about to say, like this last week's conversation, this week's conversation, like obviously this is, we base this shit around sports and shit, but this is like some of the most motivating, like, interviews, just giving me clarity, like we're on the right path, you're on your right path, like, dude, this shit, like, I hope this isn't the last time we talk to you. I really hope this isn't the last time we talk to you, bro, because and
I want you guys to know something.
This was a fucking great conversation,
I've had 10 of these things reach out. And this has nothing to do with Dimers, and I love Jason. I didn't care if you guys go back to your DMs.
I know, I remember.
You reached out to us, yep.
Right? So you guys were the first one that I agreed to do.
And we really
so what does that tell you? As
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, the sites that we can't name but we all go to those sites, right?
Right.
They don't got nothing on you, man, but you got to keep grinding.
Damn,
like,
bro.
that's just it. You guys cover all the demographics, like your differences are your, strengths and your weaknesses, and your difference is like anything, man. Like, different is good. Always.
That shit means so
right?
much, bro. Like, you have no idea.
So go for it. I'm happy to jump on anytime. People really want to listen to what my old ass has to say.
We do.
I swear to you guys, it's the truth. I was 30 years old. Still had a rusted Camry, and now I'm rich. So
God damn,
that's right.
bro.
I mean, right? Flaunt it if you have it. I mean, literally, like, because
you earned that shit,
right?
bro.
You earned it. You are living proof of that.
Because I'm trying to say it to be like, this isn't bullshit.
Right? No, I'm not kidding. Right?
in up until even before I started my own firm, I had many years where I was like, oh boy, I think I messed up my entire life. But I took a chance. I don't have a boss. I'm sitting here talking with you guys. I mean, I'm a little stressed out right now looking at my computer. But yeah, like if you guys can do what you do, I mean, I envy you guys, truthfully. That basement, you'll look back on this, no matter where you go, hopefully it's to the moon. You look back on this, you'd be like, dude, that was just, I would kill to watch football with two dudes and fucking with my, not have any other thing to worry about.
Right.
Because I don't think you guys really do. Right. So I'll be on again anytime you want me.
Bro, we really appreciate you, man.
That.
Hearing about your fucking 15-hour days. You give us
so
an hour
much.
out of your day to hop on the show. Like, we appreciate that shit so much, man.
Keep doing your thing.
And if you have any questions, call.
Oh, I know. We have your number
just
now.
Just be like, hey, what do you think about this? I promise you one thing. You may not like my answer, but it will be the truth.
Say no more.
What
bro.
I really think.
We will definitely keep that
smoke.
into consideration. Thank you so much for your time. Go back to your stressful computer. We don't want to take any more of your time, any more of your day. Go do your thing. We really appreciate you.
In like an hour. So
nah, give it a rip, bro. Give it a fucking rip.
Thank you so much.
No, I'm not gonna do that. My kid's gonna watch this someday, right?
You're a goat, man.
Right,
we
guys,
appreciate you, man.
Take care. Thank you so much,
Take
bro.
care, guys. All right, bye now.
Holy shit, bro.
That's crazy. I mean, that really is crazy. Beau Wagner. I mean,
2 fucking banger interviews for you boys back to back.
I mean, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt today. I'm going to the beach for the rest of the week. We are just grinding with some great insight, some just people that are so inspiring. You can check out this podcast when the tweet drops on the Twitter at ADED Podcast. And we have some new business cards coming out. You probably can't see this at all.
Boys clean as
but
hell.
we have the QR code on the back to our sports books over at Dimers, and we have our Instagram on there as well, which you will be getting some clips from this Beau Wagner interview. That is at ADED Pod. Follow us on the TikTok as well, the All Day Everyday Show. Lots of cool content, lots of cool stream clips going on there as well. And if you want to see us live, head over to the Twitch, which is simply All Day Everyday Show. We love what we do. I know the past 2 podcasts I've grazed over this fact, but when you hear something when you hear things as inspiring as the things that Beau has said about us, he had 10 other guys and 10 other shows that he could have done, but he chose us. He reached out to us first back in July. So that just shows, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that, we're hot shit or anything like that. It makes me feel good that we know we're on the right track and we're on the right yellow brick road. We're following the right steps. We're doing the right things. We're getting better every day. So it is very rewarding, and it feels really good, but the train doesn't stop. Thank you guys so much for listening. I know this was a long one, but we really, really appreciate you. Stay great, be great, because you fucking are. We love you, baby. Let's go! You've been listening to the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs, but you can call me All Day AJ. See you later, boys! Peace! I don't have a paper today. Fuck.